I have the wonderful Dixie Lee Mills. Dixie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
Dixie, you do so much. You are the former Santa Cruz Fringe Festival producer-director.
Yeah.
But is it on hiatus?
Well, not really. I really just had to transform what I was doing. The festivals I'm so proud of them. I thought they were just excellent.
They were fabulous. I love them.
It was super fun, but it was a little too much. Now I just, instead of 150 shows in 10 days, now I just do like 1 or 2 shows every so often.
Excellent.
That's a much better pace.
And you brought Marga Gomez recently, and before that, Will Durst, which...
They were both excellent.
They are amazing and kind of becoming the trio of the comedy specials of this summer. You are bringing your one-person show called Adolescence 2.0. This is happening July 9th. That's in 2 Saturdays, I believe.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, at 8 p.m. And it's at the Center Stage at 1001 Center Street in downtown Santa Cruz. That's the Center Stage. It's right by the Goodwill.
Yep.
And there's some other really fabulous places that I'm going to have to think about that's there also. And this is a ticketed affair, and you can go to brownpapertickets.com and look for the event, Adolescence 2.0. And it is about you and midlife crisis. Yeah, and wanting to be a teenager again. Tell us, how did you come up with the title, Dixie Lee?
Well, it is a comedy show, but it starts off a little sad in terms of how it came to be, which is in the summer of 11, my father unexpectedly passed away, and I decided to end my 20-year marriage the same week. So, like I say, started with a little bit of tragedy. But out of that, my whole world was upside down, and I thought, well, I can just sort of let this all happen to me, or I can know that everything is changing, and maybe I can direct it a little bit. And so I was able to do that a bit, and eventually I ended up doing 8 months of internet dating. And about halfway through that, I thought, I better start writing this stuff down, because you just can't you can't make
this up.
No, you can't make this up. It's just too funny, too weird.
Life is stranger than fiction, folks.
That's right. And that story ended up being 36,000 words, which is really big. I edited it down to 26,000 words. I tortured a few friends, made them listen to it. Just way too much. And there was humor, but there was tragedy, of course. And it wasn't quite the right story or the right show. And eventually I just decided, what if I just focus on the funny parts and just pull those out? Would I still have a story? Would I still have this arc of transformation? And I think it's there. And at least you're laughing the whole time. So most people don't really care about the arc. In comedy, they just want to laugh.
That's right. And you have a lot of experience with comedy, don't you?
Well, not really.
No?
No. I mean, I'm an artist. I mean, I've been performing forever and ever. I have an MFA in dance. I'm really a dancer.
I see. And so the comedy is just to help you get through big changes in your life.
Yeah, it just seemed to be the right medium for this particular show. I've always used some comedy in my dances, and even with this show, which very early on was clear that it was not a dance. It was going to be a monologue, and I called it a comedy monologue for a long time because I felt very safe with that. It was a big leap to go, okay, it's stand up. It's comedy. I'm just gonna go for it.
It's scary.
And I've danced naked on stage a bunch of times, not in strip clubs. Like, I mean, art.
Right. High art.
As high art, exactly. Very high art. So it's not like I've been vulnerable on stage, but this feels way more scary.
I'm in awe of comedians, and like I said, it's scary, and you have to be so brave. Dixie Lee Mills.
Everybody will know all kinds of totally inappropriate things about me.
All right.
Yeah.
Which is probably the same inappropriate things that it's about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times. Yeah. And so if people would like to get more information, they can go to, you have Adolescence 2.0, that's POINTO.com.
Yes. It's just a little...
or is it 2.0.com?
Well, so the show is Adolescence 2.0, but I couldn't I couldn't put the point in the website name, so I had to spell out point. So it's adolescence, the number 2, POINT, zero.
The number .com.
And it's just a little website that I made in like 2 seconds on GoDaddy. I've never done that before. And I don't know. It's nice because then I'm in charge of it. I can change it whenever I want to. And
that's really important.
Yeah.
The webmasters of yonder year. It's a good thing to have.
And there's a new video clip I just put on there.
That's right. So, I got to see that.
Yeah.
And you
cool.
have a lot on Facebook, too.
Well, I try to just work it, work those
And you have
avenues.
an event, right?
An event page, definitely.
And it's Adolescence 2.0.
Probably,
Yeah,
yes.
something like that.
Something like that.
Just look it up and you'll find it. It's a comedy show by Dixie Mills, and it's happening Saturday, July 9th at 8 p.m. at the Center Stage, located at 1001 Center Street in Downtown Santa Cruz. There is tickets, so you want to get yours before, so it doesn't sell out. You can go to Brown Paper Tickets and get them there, and you can also go to the website, adolescence2, POINT, .com. You want to make sure you get that. So, Dixie, you've been working on this project for quite a few years.
Well, I mean, the dating and the writing, it's taken
experience.
I had to kind of go through this whole experience, and then the writing of it's really been very interesting versus making dance. It's so much more fluid. Like you make a dance with 5 people and you want to change something, it's a big deal. You got to go, okay, everybody, let's try this. You go over there, you go, oh, no, that didn't work. All right, try this, blah, blah. It can take you an hour to change 10 seconds, but I am standing in my living room talking into my hairbrush, and, it changes all the time.
Is there any part of your show that's improvised, or is it pretty, like, you've got it nailed?
It's all set, but you got to be available for those moments. Because it really was weird when I performed this back in February for the first time. I mean, I performed hundreds of times, but never has anyone spoken to me while performing. At first I was like, what is the matter with you? Oh, this is comedy. That's how they do it. Okay. And so then I thought that was fun. Actually, I wish it happened more.
Wow. I didn't even think of that. So it's a whole nother level. I'm telling you, comedy, folks, to me is very scary. And I'm so glad that you're doing it, because I love to laugh like everybody else. Laughter makes us young, helps us stay young. And it's a Adolescence 2.0, a coming-of-age story. It's a comedy show by Dixie Mills, about Dixie Mills.
Yeah, but the idea is right. It's about stuff we all go through. So whether it's middle age, so the idea was that, I got this chance to basically be a teenager again and really do it better. Well, mostly better than the first time around. Mostly smarter.
Mostly, not completely, right? Yeah. We still have the lessons we need to learn at any age, for sure. Dixie Lee Mills. So, did you get much help from the other comedians, especially like Marga Gomez? She's doing these classes in one-person shows and helping people perform. And
yeah, that would probably be smart if I would to do that, to take a class or something. And I'm interested in that. What I've basically been doing is just taking advantage of Netflix. There is so much comedy on Netflix. I just start watching stuff. And I can honestly say that my show is as funny as at least some of the stuff on Netflix. I feel confident with that.
I am confident with that also. So, Dixie, you jumped into comedy this year, although you've been a dance performer, choreographer. That's been your main art medium.
Yeah, which this is so different. I mean, making a dance, like you've got to get all the dancers, you have to pay them, you got to get the space and the rehearsal space, the performance space, and the costumes, the props, the original music, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you got to write grants and do fundraisers. It's because the ticket sales are only going to pay for a small portion of all of that. Do you know how much it cost me to make this comedy show? Zippo. I mean, I had to have a computer already.
Right. And your time, which is worth.
Yeah. But it's real different. I'm liking it.
Wow. And so this is your first time without any dancing.
Yep.
Highfalutin dancing, you call it.
That's right. Because a lot of people, I mean, I love dance, don't get me wrong, but I know a lot of people don't really relate to contemporary dance or modern dance. I wish they would, and I do think things like shows like So You Think You Can Dance have made a big difference. But it's not like comedy.
Right.
I've never done anything that was so accessible, and it feels good to do something people like.
Yeah. I'm sure they loved everything you're doing. You're just getting better, more quick feedback from your audience, because that's how comedy works. It is an 18 and over.
Oh, yes.
So if you're younger than that, you won't get to go to Adolescence 2.0. It's the newest performance by Dixie Lee Mills. This is her first one-person comedy show with no highfalutin dancing, and it's happening July 9th at the Center Stage, located at 1001 Center Street in downtown Santa Cruz. Dixie Lee, thank you for... just one more thing. It's July 9th.
July 9th.
And 8 p.m.
My friend Claudine is going to be opening up, so she's going to be doing a few minutes of stand-up. So she's fantastic. I'm so excited for that.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on to the show and talking with us.